We are continuing to pull phrases out of our enthusiastic shorthander and his study buddy Tom. The purpose of the fixed length of the paragraphs is that they are short enough to use for speed pushing without fatigue, but long enough to be more natural than drills. They ensure the writer responds to each word rather than mindlessly copying hieroglyphics from the line above whilst thinking of something else, as one might be tempted to do in a phrase or short sentence drill. Writing one paragraph in 60 seconds is 100 words a minute, a true bucket list victory. Tom sent his friend James a shorthand message saying, "We must give our attention to a most important part of shorthand writing." In our quest, we have not paid serious attention to the many other uses we can make of it, having given our whole attention to learning. In our opinion, it was more or less a game, even though we have aimed to get it all word for word. We shall have to consider doing a certain amount of challenging stuff in order to get to a first-rate level. I hope that we can think of something interesting. Dear Tom, I must say that it is most interesting that we have come to the same conclusion at the same time. My book said that we must practice writing faster than at present in order to increase speed. My idea is that we each find 5 online videos where it is mainly speaking, such as short news items, and also talks and lectures, which can be much longer. We can meet up and both take down at the same time, and afterwards read back in turns. Then, after making corrections, do it all again. But are we that brave? Dear James, yes, very good idea, and I know that it will most definitely provide a very great benefit to do that. From my point of view, it is something I have been wanting to get to grips with for some time now. The recording will be perfectly clear and easy to take several times, although it cannot be considered quite the same as real-life speaking, where you only have the one chance. According to the book, this is an ideal stepping stone to greater speed, and generally speaking, I think we are very likely to see big improvements. Dear Tom, so far I have found several talks we can make use of, with not too much technical stuff. We can get the news items fresh when we meet on Saturday afternoon. It is very likely they will have a few pauses in helpful places, as otherwise it would all be too fast for us. Some of them are talks on stage, so they will slow down here and there. Some of them are quite lengthy, so we can write it within a set time, maybe 5 minutes, then a break to recover. It will be an interesting experience. Dear James, I wonder if between us we can work through it all, but it will not be easy at first. At least we don't have to submit a transcript of it to anyone. "5 minutes is a very long time, but the book says to make sure you get whole sentences when the speed of the talk is too high for you. That way you have something to read back that makes sense. We want at all costs to avoid the habit of allowing ourselves gaps, but it may be necessary in these extreme circumstances. An interesting experiment indeed. Dear Tom, I am absolutely exhausted this morning after yesterday's marathon writing efforts. It was ridiculously fast, but certainly not a waste of time. I wrote down mostly whole sentences, but I am glad that we were able to retrieve most of what was said. I must say the 5 minutes seemed to get shorter on the third attempt, and I am confident that this afternoon we can manage the next 5 minutes of the talk. What do you think about doing it all at some time? We must work as much as possible before college in a few months. Dear James, good idea, and this afternoon I would very much like to see if we can do better. Having taken a large part of it and sorted out the technical terms, maybe on Wednesday afternoon we can take the whole thing again and see if we are able to get more of it word for word. On the other hand, we shall have to consider whether or not we are paying enough attention to looking up outlines and any other corrections and improvements. The entire talk is 16 minutes, and I think that we can now survive that long. Dear Tom, have you recovered yet from yesterday afternoon's session? I am very glad that we made the attempt, and I had a quick read-through yesterday evening. It really made everything else seem very slow. I am looking forward to Saturday afternoon, when we can check through our rapid notes and see what needs more work. On the other hand, I think some revision from the beginning of the book is in order, so that we can avoid any more errors. I am sure it is possible we have missed some things that are most important to improve accuracy. Dear James, that was a good deal of work we have done over the past few weeks. As we are now going on our holidays, it would be good if we both recorded a daily diary of activities. Then it will be necessary to swap them at the end of that time, take them down, and meet up to check each other's efforts. It is very much easier to see someone else's mistakes than our own. As they will be fairly short, we do not have to slow down too much. It is something a little different. See you later.